Bryant, and this is my Module 6 Inquiry capstone. This is an activity I actually found and have been tweaking it to make it more inquiry over the years, and I'm still adjusting it, and I thought this was a good one to bring to the table as something I've worked on. This is an activity that's good to use at the beginning of the year. It's really about observation and inference and how science is actually an everyday thing and not just things for scientists, which is useful for students because often they forget those connections. So what I do after I talk about observation and inference is I split students up into 2 to 3 people per group. And on the board, I throw up 3 cartoon panels. And then I tell them there's actually a 4th panel, but I'm not going to show it to them. And that they are going to create the story using the 3 panels in whatever order and try to incorporate what they think is the 4th one. So they have to create a little mini story using those panels and draw the missing panel. And then they will read their story to the class and answer a few questions about it afterwards. For the example I used on one of my students to give a reference, the 3 panels exposed are the ones I showed, and then I covered up the one that has the big X through it. I didn't see that one till the very end. Now my student in question who did the activity does not have parental permission to have his image displayed, so I did post his work though. So here was his story for this. Stephen's family was worried that he was eating too many snack cakes. Stephen's family held an intervention. Stephen's family told them how much they loved him and that they didn't want him to eat so many sweets. Stephen's family went out to discuss life and relax. Stephen's family then went home to cook a healthy meal. And then the little picture he sketched up was Stephen in front of a salad and fish fillets. So that fit the prompt. In a classroom setting, I would give them the whole period or a little more to do this, and I would want the picture colorized and illustrated as best I can and a little more detail in the story. Then I show them the 4th panel, and I ask them some questions, such as comparing to this activity to science, what would the picture represent, with a rubric. Discussing what sort of answers I expect, explain why different groups would have a different order of pictures, relate this to science, why is sharing and collaborating important for the process, and comparing your picture to the picture that is shown to you. Is your story valid? Explain why or why not, and relate this to science. And what's nice about this is you can give a couple of different answers to these as well, depending on perspective, especially the last one, if they take into the perspective of what their data show them now versus when they saw the new panel. That would be a big change. And I like this because it really lets them go in numerous directions in solving the problem. They come up with so many vastly different stories. It's fascinating, and that's part of the scientific process, which is a lot of fun to see and have them realize that they could come up with something completely different and nobody in the group has something exactly the same. I hope you enjoy my activity. I will post the worksheet on the page as well, so you can look at that goes along with it. But thank you.